Welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports video blog as you're watching right here on the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. It's the SSVB episode 74. Today's date is November 10th, 2018. Thank you for joining me. I'm Troy West, and thank you always for all the support. And thanks for watching. This week in the blog, baseball season's over, so we don't got that much baseball to talk about. Just that Joe Mauer retired, a long-time Minnesota Twin, hanging it up. And Bryce Harper already turned out a big contract. But other than that, not a lot of baseball news. The awards are coming soon, so we're not going to do a lot of baseball on this blog. First time I did a blog during the off season of baseball, though. But we got some NBA to talk about. Steph Curry suffers an injury. How will that affect the Warriors? And the Raptors and the Bucks continue to impress. The Bucks just beat the Warriors the other night. NFL Week 10 continues. Got some big games. It was hard to pick 5 games this week. Not no real big marquee games, but I picked the best that I thought that was the best 5. I'll go deep into those and give you all my picks for Week 10. And also the fortunate injury to Dez Bryant as he just got signed by the Saints. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then college football, same thing. Not a lot of big marquee games, but teams that's trying to make the playoffs, trying to get by some road bumps. College basketball season started. Look how Duke looked. That's what everybody's talking about. And a little NHL, not a lot of NHL, but we got a little bit of that. But we start with the NBA this week. Of course, I mentioned the Bucks and the Warriors. They played Thursday night. Bucks got the win, but Draymond Green didn't play in that game. He's nursing an injury as well, but Steph Curry went down. Well, I think this is called an adductor strain. I think it's something in his leg. They said it's day by day, so we'll see. I still give the Bucks credit for winning this game. They look good right now. The Greek feel like he's taking another step in his game. Look, he got bigger too. Look like he got been in the weight room. I follow him on Instagram. He do a lot of workouts and stuff, but that guy look cut now compared to when he first came into the league. But the Bucks look like they're a real threat in the East. They started off slow last year, kind of was basically just above 500 team, but they look more formidable this year. They hitting their threes. That's the difference with the Bucks. But the Steph Curry injury, hopefully they said it's day to day, so hopefully that's all it is for the Warriors. No skin off their nose by losing. You ain't gonna win them all. That's still only their second loss of the year. So I don't think this is going to impact them. The Warriors just got to get the playoff time. That's all. They've been there, done that regular season. They went for the wins, 73 wins a couple of years ago. They didn't win the title that year. So the Warriors just worry about making the playoffs, which they will easily. The West to me look jumbled up. Not no other after the Warriors, and not no clear number 2. Now that Houston is still struggling, it's no clear number 2 in the West anymore. Everybody's sort of going to beat up with each other. I think that's how it's going to be. I think the Warriors will probably get that first seed. Predicted right now. I think everybody else going to be just kind of like it was last year. It was clearly Houston and Golden State. Then it was everybody else in the West. Sort of a game or 2 apart from 3 to 8. I think it's going to be the same way. But it might be from 2 to 8 this time. I think everybody will probably be around between 50 and 45 wins, something like that. Because I remember that one year, the West had all 8 teams won 50 games, which is nuts. And I think the East had like 2 or 3 teams that was under 500 make the playoffs. So this year, I think it's still bumping up. Give the Kings a shout out as well. They still playing well. They won last night. I watched some highlights this morning. Toronto's still playing well as well. So Kawhi Leonard, look like he's focused, man. He got the Raptors playing pretty well. Raptors already was a good team, but well, with Kawhi, I guess I give him more. Like if they get a 1 seed or 2 seed, I probably give him more. Won't write them off because LeBron ain't in the East anymore. And number 2. Boston, to me, I think still working things out. They might get it together by then. I think they still try to get that rotation right. Philadelphia looks good, but like I said, everybody's saying about them, they don't have no shooters really but JJ Redick, so that might come back and bite them. And Milwaukee looks pretty good right now as well. So East very interesting, more interesting this year than it's been in a while without LeBron. And the West is just a landfill of good teams. But hopefully the Curry injury ain't too hard for him. Hopefully he comes back. Basically they got the goodest news they wanted to get because it's not a tear or anything with the MRI. So he should be back. There's no point in rushing back. Warriors still formidable with Durant and Klay Thompson. Even though Draymond ain't playing, they still a formidable team. So we'll see. Of course, every week I'll give you a little update. Pick out some teams that surprised me. The Wizards has been a bad surprise. They just look bad. I guess I can say it now. I was wrong about 2 teams in my playoffs for the East. I don't think the Wizards are going to make it, and I don't think the Cavs, of course, not going to make it now. As I think they about to really dismantle that team. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to trade Love, even though Kevin Love's hurt, and just start from scratch and build around the young point guard Saxton, and just start from scratch. And maybe, with all these guys, especially for Duke, which we'll talk about later, all the freshmen, Cleveland probably wouldn't mind taking and maybe getting at least a top 5 pick and get one of those guys. So to build around. So, but NBA is always interested, but nobody don't really like. I hear people say they don't get into the NBA until after Christmas, which is true. I don't really get deep into it either because I'm still watching NFL. Christmas is when the season really start to move. So, but still impressive by some of the teams what they're doing right now. All right, so time to get to some NFL already. Pull up my PSC Pick'em app as we pick every game from this week. My record started to get stronger, 86-47. I picked every single game this year, so I'm out 40 over. That's not bad. I said I had that one real bad week. I think it was like week 3. I had that real terrible week. Or week 2, I see it right here. Week 2 really hurt me. Only got 5 right. So after that, I pretty much been rolling ever since, getting at least 9 points. So I got 9 last week, and I'm already off to a good start. I picked Pittsburgh to beat Carolina. I just was surprised how it was done, but I kind of figured they was at home. They play a lot better at home. Carolina, like I said, still a shaky team. Still trying to figure them out. I had them in my power rankings though. Pittsburgh will probably make an appearance next Wednesday, so watch next Wednesday. Thursday Night Football edition of the Silent Sports Video Blog. And of course, join me Monday morning for Monday Morning Football Hangover. Of course, every Monday is live on YouTube as well. But let's get into the picks. Let's see. First up here, Falcons and Browns. I think Atlanta win this game. I think this is going to be close with Browns, but sort of still competing. They're at home. It's cold because it's cold here on the East Coast. And I think in the Midwest, Cleveland not quite Midwest, but it's colder there than it is here. I think they got some snow and stuff, so I think Atlanta might be a little bit neutralized by that. But I still think they pull it out and win on the road. I think by like less than a touchdown. I think Cleveland will be competitive and stay in the game, but I think Atlanta will pull away. Bills and Jets. This is a hard one to pick. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills win this game. I'm just going to pick the Jets because they're at home. Really no other explanation than that. Sam Darnold might not play. So actually, they might make me feel a little bit better about the Jets because Josh McCown is a valuable backup. They might keep the game steady. Bills, just a weird team. You don't know how they got their 2 wins, but they did. Like especially beating the Minnesota. Now looks more surprising again because Minnesota was struggling, so it was a surprise, but it wasn't a huge surprise. And now that they playing well again, it's like how they beat them. But Jets at home. If the Bills at home, I might pick the Bills, with the Jets at home, so I would give the edge to the Jets. Lions and Bears. This made my Big 5 list this week. Like I said, not a lot of huge matchups this week. Bears. I picked this game because the Bears. I think for them to really, if they win this game, I really think they can probably win this division. Like be for real. Lions 3-5. Like I said, it's just too much on Matthew Stafford's plate. And just like how I feel about the Falcons, I feel about the Lions. Even though they play in a cold city in Detroit, but they play inside. I know it's slower than Chicago for sure because I was watching something on TV. A reporter or something was in Chicago and it was snowing, so it snowed there. So I know it's cold there, so I think the Lions have to deal with that. And then I think the Bears just a better team this year. I think Khalil Mack's still out. Bears defense still pretty good. I think they shut down the Lions. I think they win. Bears 6.5 favorite though, and they come in 5-3. Lions are 3-5. I don't know if they played already this year or not. I can't remember. But I think if the Bears were to really be serious about winning this division, I think they gotta win this game. So I'm gonna go with them at home to beat Detroit. That's 6.5. I say it'd be that sounds about right. I think it'd be probably about a touchdown win for Chicago. Let's move on to the Saints and the Bengals. That's on this list. Saints, of course, number 1 in my power rankings, 7-1. Bengals 5-3. They've been in and out my power rankings. Well, in the beginning of the season. Sneaky game here. Like I said, it's cold. Saints ain't used to playing in that cold weather. They came up here though a couple of weeks ago in Baltimore and won. It was kind of chilly. I don't know how it is in Cincinnati. I just know it's cold for sure. And the Bengals, I don't know. Bengals one of those teams that might surprise you, but I just like how the Saints are rolling right now. Devastating news though. They signed Dez Bryant this week, which I brought up in the beginning of the blog. And he tore his Achilles in practice. At least they figuring that he did. It's not official yet, but they saying that's basically what it is. But you still got Michael Thomas, which is a stud at wide receiver, probably one of the talented wide receivers. Him and, like I said, Adam Thielen, they are definitely underrated. You don't think about those two when you put the top 5 receivers in the league. Michael Thomas for sure. I like Adam Thielen too. He's good. Not going to discredit him, but I watched the Saints last week and Michael Thomas just on another level. How he runs his routes, his physical prowess, and he's fast too. So, and I laughed at him. The cell phone celebration. Everybody's making a big deal out of it, you know. But they won, so I loved it. I mean, if they lost, it wouldn't feel right, but I'm just glad somebody had some homage. Pay homage to Joe Horn. That was just amazing. I love that. And the Saints wound up winning that game against the Rams last week, mind you, which is a huge win. And I think they continue to roll. I think they beat the Bears. I think it'd be close. Saints 5.5. I say it'd be closer to that. I say it'd be about a field goal or something like that. I think the Bengals will compete in this game, but I think the Saints will ultimately pull through and win. Another game with my Big 5. That's next. Patriots at Titans. Titans coming off the big win Monday night against the Cowboys. They record at 4-4. Patriots 7-2. Quiet 7-2 kinda. You know, they started off 1-2. They won 6 straight. Saints came in winning 7 straight. A lot of teams on streaks. Titans a big win, feeling good about themselves. It's in Tennessee. They give the Patriots 6.5. That sounds about right. I think they'd beat them. I think the Titans, even though they put up 28 against Dallas, against a good defense, Dallas got a decent defense. But I still think their offense a little compromised. Mariota got to make plays out, you know, on the run too much and stuff. I think the Patriots going to neutralize that, and I think they win. I want to say easily because the Titans are a scrappy team. They don't quit, but and Mike Vrabel, you know, a lot of people, I think it does matter. You know, he used to work for the Patriots. He kind of know them a little bit, so that might neutralize the game as well. But I think the Patriots will win though by about a touchdown. Go to Tennessee, get that big win. Houston rolling right now. I think they might be off this week, I believe. Yep, I don't see them on here. So this would be a big win for the Titans if they able to get it. Keep pace with the Texans and that AFC South. But I got the Patriots winning though. Jaguars, Colts. Jaguars probably one of the most disappointing teams in the league. Colts right where you think they would be, 3-5. Both teams 3-5. I just think the Jags been bad too long. I think the defense gonna be play a little angry. I like Andrew Luck. The Colts do play better at home, but I think the Jaguars make sort of a small little statement, a little bounce back game for them. I just got a feeling they're gonna win this game, so I got them winning in Indianapolis. I don't even know who they started at quarterback. They will at the Bortles. I don't know what's going on with that. That's why I'm a little bit nervous about this game, but I think the Jaguar defense will carry them. And then I think for that, they say he's most likely going to play. So they can run the ball, control that clock. I think they win. Cardinals, Chiefs. Chiefs, not a lot to say. Cardinals a disaster. They probably, to me right now, is playing the worst football out of everyone. Other than the Raiders, I forgot about the Raiders. I see them here. No, never mind. They second to last. So the Raiders are terrible. I think they beat the Raiders. That's the only team I think they beat though. Chiefs, light them up. Say they score like a 40 again. Patrick Mahomes, another 4 touchdown passes or something like that. We'll see though, because now that it's getting cold, this week is going to be cold, you know, in certain parts of the country. They in Kansas City. I see how they deal with that. I want to see how they deal with that. That'd be the only obstacle, is to deal with that cold. And the Cardinals ain't going to be able to do it. And I think they win easily. I say at least by 14 easily over the Cardinals. Buccaneers, Redskins. Redskins kind of disappointed me last week. I put them in my rankings. I thought, all right, you get the big win against the Giants. Even though the Giants ain't playing that well this year either, just thought it would be a big win, and they turn around and lose to Atlanta the way that they did. That's just the way that they lost. It's not that they lost necessarily, because Atlanta's talented, but the way that they lost, got blown out the water. I think the Buccaneers might go be able to exploit that. And Tampa Bay is a little warm. Fitzmagic is back in the lineup. He hit Deshaun Jackson a couple of times deep. I think the Buccaneers win. Maybe though they 3-5, have their problems, but I got Tampa Bay winning at home. A little upset pick, I guess. Chargers, Raiders. Chargers, not much to talk about with this game. I just talked about the Raiders. I don't even want to talk about the Raiders, man. They take it on purpose. Try to get to Vegas. So, they ain't gonna, Chargers by 14 at least. I ain't gonna spend much time in the game, but the Chargers, keep on winning though. They won 6 straight, coming in though. Give them some love, and they in my power records, but, this game is gonna be a disaster. I get 14 points at least. Chargers over the Raiders. I don't know what the spread is though. Dolphins, Packers. Packers winning this game. Like I just told you how cold it is. Miami. Got to go up in the Lambeau Field. Don't see them doing too well. 5-4. Packers need this win. They pretty much got to win out to make a playoff spot, which I think they can with Aaron Rodgers. But they got a tough schedule. This is the game they have to win, because this is probably the easiest game on their schedule. They got to win this game if they're going to make that run. Aaron Rodgers, new Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers will win. I say by at least a touchdown. Not gonna go like 14 or more like I did with the other games I just had. Seahawks, Rams, that made my list. Rams, of course, coming off that loss. We'll see how they bounce back against Seattle. Seattle, to me, still a formidable team. Not the same team, not the Legion of Boom anymore, of course. But I still, like I said, I really got a lot of respect for Russell Wilson. I like him at quarterback. I think he's underrated. I think he'll keep them in this game. I think the Rams will pull away. 9.5 is too much. I think it'll be closer than that. I think Seattle will probably lose by a touchdown or less. I think it'll be a closer game than that spread. Rams, of course, come off that loss to New Orleans last week. A lot of people took probably a lot of positive out of it. I did as well. Like, they was down. Saints jumped on them. They was down, I think, by 17 at halftime. Came back and tied it at 35. Then the Saints pulled away. But showed some grit that people didn't think they had. They're definitely a different team this year. Todd Gurley, MVP year so far. I think it'll be closer. I think they pull away at the end. Probably win by a touchdown or so. Got the Rams winning at home. And my final Big 5 game, but not the final game of the week, but it is the final game of Sunday. Eagles at the Cowboys. This is a big game for both teams. Cowboys holding on to whatever hope they got left. And the Eagles 4-4. And I think Washington going to lose, so the Eagles probably thinking, oh, well, we can tie, get back in the division. They picked up Golden Tate. It'll be his first game with the Eagles. So we'll see how that plays out. Amari Cooper, of course, went to the Cowboys. Devastating loss to me Monday night. I had that game. They just gave it right back to Tennessee. They took advantage of it. Basically, if Dallas loses this game, I think they're done for the year. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. So it's a must-win for Dallas, in my opinion. Eagles, it would be a bad loss, but I still think they could bounce back if they somehow lose this game. But I just don't think so. I think everything is pointing to Philadelphia to win this game. They're at home as well. So I think the Eagles win Sunday night. They give them 7 points. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Sound about right to me. Dang, on my sheet though, I got Dallas at home, but on here it says they on the road. Let me just be guaranteed that. Yeah, it's in Philadelphia, so I guess that was one of my mistakes. But Philadelphia's at home, they win. They 7. That's why I was like, dang, they 7 on the road. I said that's a lot, you know. But I got Philadelphia winning and pretty much ended the Cowboys season one way or the other, pretty much. I don't think they can bounce back from this loss. And the Monday night game is not that interesting. Giants and 49ers. See how the Giants play. A lot of people want to see, you know, Odell Beckham. Other than that, 49ers is a exciting team, though, even though they're 2-7. Like I said, I like what Kyle Shanahan is doing down there. And I think they win at home. But like I said, I'll talk more about this game for the Monday Morning Football Hangover live on YouTube on Monday morning. So we'll talk more about that game. But I think 49ers will win. 24-13 is my score. I got to pick a score for the Monday night game with the picks can pick them. So I did. So that's my score. And that will do it for NFL Week 10. All my picks. Of course, I ain't gonna say it's too late to end the picks and pick up, but the season's pretty much over. But I was hoping I got somebody to go against. But I'm doing well though. 86 wins, not bad. Almost 40 games over. I'll probably be at least 40 games over after this week. But that's it. Not a lot happening in the world of sports. Like I said, I mentioned baseball, but I couldn't believe I see that Bryce Harper turned down $300 million contract with the Nationals. So to me personally, that tells me he wants out. Well, he's not going to sign with them. Because I don't think he's going to get that much more than that nowhere else. I think the Yankees like step up and do it. But they pretty much don't need him unless he change position, because he got Aaron Judge right. He plays right as well. Or he could DH most of the time, and then or him and Judge can rotate who play the field, who, you know, they can work it out. But we'll see where his mindset is, where he goes. You know, he got probably some, I don't want to say bad teams, but some other teams that might pony up the money that might not be necessarily a contender. Like the Giants is a sneaky team, the San Francisco Giants, so look out for them. Maybe making a move at them. Or the Angels, maybe paying with Mike Trout. That'd be interesting. But we'll see how that works out. Machado as well is out there. So we'll see how those two guys, where they fit. Far as the awards, I see some of the finalists, so I guess the awards will be announced probably sometime next week. So we'll run that down. MVP, Cy Young, all that stuff. So that's baseball for the week. College football, like I said, not a lot of marquee games, but the top 4 in the playoffs. Clips, they got a little sneaky game tonight against Boston College. It's going to be cold up there, like we were saying all week. People were saying all week, and I'm just saying all through the show. It's cold on the East Coast right now in the Midwest. So other than that, you don't see Clips losing that game, but there's something to keep your eye on. Alabama play a ranked team as well. I think it's Mississippi State, but you don't really see them as being a threat. But it's still a ranked team, so look out for those 2 games. Notre Dame, I think, play Navy tonight. I think they 3rd in the playoff. I think Michigan is 4th. And I think they play Penn State, I believe, which is a big game. I should have probably looked it up. I know really no major threats. And I think they played Penn State last week, right? Michigan did, I believe. But I think they got somewhat of a tough game as well. But we'll see. But if one of those teams lose, it'll be some chaos for sure. College basketball started this week as well. It started Tuesday, and man, you see Duke, Zion Williamson, the young phenom, big guy with a 6'8", 275, 280. That guy. I see highlights. I didn't watch the game live. I've seen a lot of highlights, and that guy, he can move. But he's not even the best player on the team. They got a guy, I think it's JT Barrett. I mean, not JT Barrett, that's the quarterback for Ohio State. But I know his last name Barrett, but I think it's like JC or something like that. I apologize not knowing his name. but he's the number one recruit. He's there. Of course, they got 3 out of the top 4. But Duke looks formidable. They already talk about the undefeated. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. I don't think they're going undefeated, but I think they'll definitely be a contender to win the tournament this year. And they probably bum rush through the ACC. Because I don't like the way, I see North Carolina a little bit. I don't like the way they look. It's early, though. Like I said, you can't never be a team on 1-2 games, but it's early. Just like Duke, it's early. But I just don't like the way. I don't think North Carolina can put a candle to Duke this year. So I think they'd be definitely a clear favorite to the ACC. But other teams, impressive. Kansas looked good. Of course, Duke beat Kentucky, and they bounced back. I think they played last night, but Kentucky is going to be a contender. So the usuals are going to be contenders. So we'll see how all that play out. But it was just wonderful to see that young kid. That's why I'm saying Cleveland probably would want that guy. Or maybe Phoenix to get him again. But we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be interesting, though. Hockey, I keep promising myself to get some hockey. I'm just not that knowledgeable in hockey, just to be honest with you. But I took a look at some things. Tampa Bay Lightning and the Nashville Predators, they just still look like world beaters. But one thing I do know about hockey, best record don't matter once you get to them playoffs. So it sometimes depends on how hot a team is. And it's kind of weird because basketball is not like that. You play baseball. Well, baseball kind of is too. A 7-game series. Basketball is probably a guarantee. The best team going to win. Like, there's nothing you can do. And then you can scheme all you want. If you just either good or better or you worse, you know, it's either you're good or you're not. Either the team's better than you or you're not. But in baseball, you know, you got some luck involved, or you might have a pitcher that's pitching very well. In hockey, it's your goalie might be dominating for that short period of time. So a little bit more fluky. But hockey is probably the most flukiest because 8-speed ones all the time. Even though I think the playoff format's a little different, they changed it. But I mean, but the lower seeds beat the higher seeds all the time. Like that's not out the ordinary. So, but we'll see how the season plays out. Like I said, I follow the Sharks and the Blackhawks. Sharks doing pretty good. Blackhawks, I think, well, you know, they fired their coach this week. Was it this week? Yeah, it was earlier this week, and they got a guy in there. So the Blackhawks look like they taking a different turn. So we'll see all this stuff, how all this play out. But that'll do it this week. Got nothing more for you guys. Every week I come here, review the week, everything that went down this week, and always, of course, during the NFL season, all my picks. Like I said, I want to say thank everyone for the support, especially on social media. I've been getting a lot of love there lately, on Instagram and on Facebook, so I thank you guys so much. And I'll put some things up for this episode on social media as well, so you can check it out. And I thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure you guys enjoy your weekend. It's windy out here, so be careful. If you're on the East Coast or wherever you might be, if the weather's bad, just be careful. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for all the support.